Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I just wanted to document this journey. We are going to, well actually we already started to sleep train, crib train, whatever you want to call it. Oaklynne, she is 5 months old. She turned 5 months old on Wednesday. This is Monday. And I said that when she turned 5 months old, I was going to start putting her in a crib. She has slept the first month that she was alive. She slept on me in a recliner. So that's the only way I could get her to sleep and that I could get some sleep. And then like 2 months until now, she has been sleeping in her Docatot in the bed with us. I know people have like mixed feelings about co-sleeping or whatever. I was somebody who said that I would never do that because I just think that babies need to have their own space, but obviously I did not follow through with that. She just would not sleep unless she was in the bed with us. And if you've watched my other videos, we purchased the Taking Care of Babies newborn sleep class at 8 weeks old, and she, after it took about 2 weeks consistently, and she finally was sleeping through the night, but she still wouldn't sleep in her crib. She would sleep in the Docatot with us and it was fine. But I just feel like, well, obviously she's too big now for the Docatot. She's like crammed in it. But it's just like, I know that it's comforting to her because it's soft and squishy, and it kind of like holds her binky in her mouth whenever she like turns her head to the side, and she loves to have her binky at night. So anyway, so Saturday was the first day I wanted to try putting her in her crib. So we do our nighttime routine. She eats at 7, and then we bathe her and lay her down between like 7:30 and 8. So she was down by 8 o'clock, and she was crying until 1 a.m. I'd keep going in and picking her up and, you know, rocking her and then putting her back down, and she'd cry again, and I'd put her binky back in, and like I just was so exhausted that I just, at 1 o'clock, I was like, I've had enough. So I put her back in bed with us in the Docatot, and she slept the rest of the night. But yeah, I knew that we needed to get her in the crib. So we went ahead and watched the Taking Care of Babies ABCs of Sleep. And we watched that yesterday. And you have to be committed for 14 days. That's pretty much what she says, that it will take about 14 days for it to work. So the first class was amazing. It worked, and I recommend that to anybody if you have a fussy baby. If you think your baby has colic, because that's what I thought she was super gassy, had stomach problems. That's why she wasn't sleeping. In fact, it was not. She was just overly tired, and I was laying her down way too late and didn't realize that she was tired like hours before. So anyway, we figured that out. She's been a great sleeper. So we laid her down, did our routine, laid her down at 8 o'clock, and you lay them down awake. So we just, I do the bath, and then Carlo dresses her for bed and lays her down. So he just, you know, bounced her a couple times. We both kissed her goodnight, laid her down, walked out of the room. She has her sound machine on, and we keep a nightlight on. She says not to do that, to make it pitch black and to shut their door. But in our room, when it was pitch black, she just didn't sleep as well. And I put like just a small nightlight just to light up a little bit, and she slept so much better. So I brought that nightlight over for her room and had the same sound machine on. We laid her down, and then you walk out, and obviously she started crying. She spit her binky out. And so after 5 minutes, if they're still crying, you go back in. You don't get them out of the crib, and you don't give them their binky back. You just you know, go shh, 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 and rub their back, rub their belly, and you're only doing that for 15 to 20 seconds, and then you walk out of the room again. and then you wait 10 minutes, and if they're still crying, you go back in and you do the same thing. You don't pick them up, you don't put their binky in. All you do is, you know, shh, 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 rub their backs, rub their belly, walk out of the room. Then you wait 15 minutes, and if they're still crying, you go back and you do the same thing. We had to go back in all 3 times. Then after the 3rd time, I think it was like another maybe 5 minutes, if that, and then all of a sudden she stopped crying like instantly. Like it was like a switch went off, and I was like, oh no. So it like freaked me out. I'm like, something's wrong. So I like came upstairs. We were downstairs like trying to keep busy because the crying was just like making us really sad. But so I came back up and checked on her, and she had rolled over onto her stomach and fell asleep. Now I know you're supposed to keep your babies on their back, but she is rolling now. So she's able to roll both ways. So that is okay. And I made sure that she wasn't like on her face. She had her head turned. She could still breathe. And normally we feed her at 10 o'clock, do like a dream feed. And but she had fallen asleep at 8:30, so she cried for a half an hour, and I didn't want to wake her back up because I was so afraid that she was going to start crying again and we were going to have to do it all over again. So I was like, you know what, when she's hungry, she'll wake up crying. So she slept from 8:30 until 2:20 in the morning. She woke up crying, so that's when we gave her a bottle, and then we laid her back down, and she was out in like a minute or two. She cried for like a minute, and then she was out again on her stomach, and she slept until she was like kind of fussing in her sleep around between like 5:30 and 6, because I woke up at 5:30 to get ready for work. And I would like come in here, I like rubbed her back, and then she went right back to sleep, and I actually had to wake her up at 7 o'clock to feed her. And another thing is, this is supposed to help your baby get between 11 and 12 hours of sleep. So you're not to get if your baby wakes up and like they're fine, just let them in their crib. You're not supposed to get them out before the 11 hours. So yeah, so she slept until 7. I woke her up, gave her a bottle. She was happy. And then off to daycare we went, and I went to work. And yeah, she did really good. I was really surprised because Saturday was bad. She cried forever, but it was because I kept picking her up out of the crib, and obviously she knows, okay, if I cry, mom's gonna pick me up or put my binky back in. So I'm really hoping that tonight goes as well as last night did. Hopefully even better. Like that half an hour was a killer to listen to her cry. But it's amazing that it worked the first night we tried it. She pretty much slept all night long. She woke up, you know, for a bottle at 2:20 and then went right back to sleep. So that was amazing. I'm really hoping it happens tonight, and I hope maybe she'll only cry for like 20 minutes. And, you know, as the days go on, it gets less and less. But I would definitely let you know how tonight goes. And yeah, so I'll let you know how it goes. Hey guys, 7 o'clock in the morning. I just fed her and she's sleeping. I just wanted to give you an update about last night. It did not go as well as the first night. She did, though. We laid her down at 8, just like we did the night before, and the first night took her a half an hour to fall asleep, and last night it only took her 15 minutes, so that was good. But then she woke up probably almost every hour crying, but she was crying in her sleep, which is what she was doing, for the past few weeks, sleeping in the Docatot. So I don't know, like, obviously, I mean, it's in her sleep, so I don't know if, I'm not sure why she's doing it, but, yeah, so last night, it was okay, but she woke up a lot crying, and then ended up, around 1:15. I just went ahead and fed her, hoping that she would sleep the rest of the night, but, I think she did sleep until about 4, and Carlo got up and went in and kind of rubbed her back, and, gave her binky. We did give her binky a couple of times. And then she kind of rolled on her side and would sleep a little bit longer. So I know you're not supposed to do that, but we also want to get our sleep. So we're kind of just doing what we need to do. But at least, you know, we're keeping her, oh, she's waking up, keeping her in the crib. So hopefully tonight will be better. Hopefully, you know, it only takes her a few minutes to fall asleep. And then I think that I'm gonna try to lay her down a little bit earlier because she's normally down by 8, but I think I might feed her at like 6:45, and then 7:15, between like 7 and 7:15 she'll get a bath, and then she can lay down by 7:30 because Kara from the Taking Care of Babies, she said, as weird as it sounds, if your baby wakes up early, you need to back up their bedtime. So and she did this morning, and then yesterday she did wake up at probably like 6. She started fussing, so for her to sleep longer, I think we're gonna lay her down by 7:30. So yeah, just want to give you a little update. So I'm gonna change her, we're gonna get dressed and head to daycare. Hey guys, so it is Wednesday. I'm about to go up and wake Oaklynne up to feed her. It's about 6:45. So I just wanted to let you know how last night went. So we do the same thing every night, the bedtime routine. Laid her down at 8. I wanted to lay her down at 7:30, but that just didn't work. I was at my parents' until I think we got home about 7:15. She was really hungry yesterday, so usually I feed her at 7, but it was like a quarter after 6, and she was really fussy and like chewing on her hand, and so I went ahead and fed her. And she took 4 ounces. She normally takes 6, but she took 4, so there's 2 left over. And we tried to feed her before we gave her her bath. She didn't really want it. We tried again after her bath. She didn't want it. So but I did stop at the store and get her some baby food just to see if she would eat it, because she doesn't really like the oatmeal. So I went ahead and put a scoop of it in her bottle, but I did it in the 2 ounces that were left, and obviously she didn't eat it. So that'll be left over. But I picked up, it was just Gerber Natural. It was banana, apple, and it had oatmeal in it. So I thought that was okay. And oh my gosh, did she love it. She ended up eating like, I don't even know, like 6 spoonfuls, like baby spoonfuls, not like teaspoons. But she, like, I gave her a little bit and she like made a face, and then like she got excited and she was like that. And so she would have kept eating it, but I didn't want to feed her too much. I didn't want her to get a stomach ache because she's never had, you know, the baby food before. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do that like maybe like two or 3 times a week, maybe like every other day or something. Give her a couple spoonfuls so she's used to eating food. But she really liked it, so that's good. I need to pick up some veggies to try with her too. But anyway, so I was hoping, because she had that she would be full and would sleep all night, but that was not the case. So she laid down. It's kind of hard to remember like how many times she got up, because I'm like tired and I was like, you know, kind of out of it. Actually, I only got up 1 time. Carlo kept getting up with her, and I'm so thankful, because sometimes I'm just so tired. I like literally, like, my brain doesn't even tell me to get up out of bed. I can hear her crying, but I just like lay there. And so I'm so thankful that he helps out a lot through the night. But so the past 2 nights we did not feed her at 10 o'clock like we normally do. So, and she was fussy you know, the night before last. So I was like, okay, we'll go ahead and do the dream feed. Normally it's 5 ounces, so we did 4 ounces last night. She drank the whole, oh no, she didn't. Did she drink the whole? No, yes, she did. She drank the whole 4 ounces. So I was like, good, maybe she'll sleep all night now that she's like super full. No, she got up a few times crying. And then I set my alarm for 2 o'clock because that's normally when I get up and pump, and then feed her at like 2:33. And I was like debating, do I want to feed her more So I went ahead and I pumped 4 ounces, and Carlo fed her. She ended up only taking 3, and but so she ate around 3 o'clock. So she woke up actually just a little bit ago and like fussed a little bit, and we did give her her binky. But pretty much from that feeding from 3 o'clock until it was about 6 o'clock when she started fussing. So that was really good. So she still needs that feeding, I guess. I don't know. So I guess we're gonna just keep doing that. I'll probably knock it down to give her, I thought I heard her, give her 3 ounces at 10 o'clock and 3 ounces at 1 o'clock, and then drop it down to 2 maybe and see how she does. I don't know. We're only on day 3, so I mean, she is doing really well. But when she's waking up, it's like, she's not actually waking up. She's just crying in her sleep. So, but I didn't even tell you. So we laid her down at 8 o'clock. She went right to sleep. And so the first night it took her half an hour. She cried from 8 till 8:30. Then, that was Sunday night. Then Monday night, she cried from 8 to 8:15. Now, last night she didn't cry at all. She went right to sleep, but she ended up waking up. I think the first time was around 11:30 because I thought, oh, she's been sleeping a while. And, well, she was sleeping a while, but it was only 11:30. So, oh, my arm's getting tired. But yeah, so she is doing good. She kind of like sleeps on her side, or she does not like to sleep on her back in the crib. I think because she's so used to the Docatot, like she being so like squished in it and having like the soft sides, where she likes to turn her head into the side of the Docatot with her binky. That's just like comforting to her. And because it's like it just, you know, a big open space in the crib, she can't do that. So she just does not like to sleep on her back. I try to like lay her down and get her arms up, because if her arms are above her head when she's laying on her back, she sleeps for a very long time. But she just tosses and turns, and she just doesn't like it. So she ends up rolling onto her stomach, which kind of makes me nervous. But I know that, you know, they say it's okay, because once they start rolling, like they can roll back and forth, and she can. So it's okay. And, you know, we always sneak in and check on her, but all you have to do is like touch the lower part of her back. It is kind of like tickles her, and she'll like move, so we know that she's still breathing. But yeah, so that's the update. She did well. She did cry a few times throughout the night, but which I hate. I don't mind the crying, like getting herself to sleep right when we lay her down, but crying in the middle of the night, that just like breaks my heart. And also, I'm just like so tired. I just want to go back to bed, and I just want her to stop crying. So Carlo and I kind of like disagreed last night. He went in when she was crying and was like, you know, shh, and rubbed her back. And I was just like, no, I'm rolling her over and I'm giving her a binky so she goes to sleep, because I know if I do that, she'll go to sleep and then I can go back to sleep. I was just like kind of angry because it was the middle of the night and I was so tired. And I knew that that would work to get her to go to sleep. And that's not part of the sleep training. I shouldn't have done it. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. We're only on day 3, so I'll get better with it. He's definitely stronger than I am. But so whatever. But he has given her binky a few times. So we're not 100% following it. But at least she's sleeping in her crib. So that's so good. So that is the update. Hopefully we continue to do better, sleep longer periods without waking up crying. So I will update you tomorrow and let you know how it went. Hey guys, good morning. It's Thursday morning and I have Oaklynne with me. So I just wanted to update you how the sleeping in the crib went last night. So that was we did it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, so that was the 4th night. Last night went really well. We laid her down at 8. It was like probably 10 till 8. She fell right asleep like she did the night before, and she actually didn't wake up crying until it was like 2:15, and that is the time that I woke up to pump to make her a bottle. So we fed her and she went back to sleep. She woke up crying at it was 4 o'clock, and I went in and I did give her Binky because I knew she'd fall right back asleep. And I'm okay with doing that. If we lay her down initially and she is crying, that is when we don't give her Binky. I mean, we will to lay her down, but if it comes out, we don't give it back because we want her to be able to put herself to sleep without needing the Binky. Now, when she cries in the middle of the night, she's not actually awake. She's doing it in her sleep. So we give her Binky back because that's kind of what she's looking for, I think. And she can't grab it herself yet. And then she's right back. You know, she lays her head back down and goes right back to sleep. So we're okay with doing that. But so she woke up well, didn't really wake up. When I say wake up, I mean, she cried. I went in, gave her Binky, and then she cried again at 4:15, gave her Binky, and then she was good until, I woke her up it was like 10 till 7 to feed her, and it's 20 after 7 right now. So we fed, we got changed, and, we have about 15 minutes before we need to head to the daycare. So I'm just going to put her in her little activity center back there and finish up a few things, and then we're gonna I'm gonna drop her off at daycare, and then I'm gonna go to work. So last night went really well, and yeah, I think she's finally getting the hang of it. And the past 3 nights she's laid down and not cried. So, well, no, I guess the first 2 she did, the last 2 she didn't. She laid right down and went to sleep. So progress. But yeah, just wanted to update you. So tomorrow is another day. Hey. Hey. Where are you? Hey. Oh. Hi. Hi. See, I did so good last night, huh? You did so good last night. Yeah, we laid her down. Where'd your Binky go? Here it is. There you go. We laid her down at 7:30 instead of 8. So we fed her at 6:45 and did her bath, and then we laid her down 7:45. She went right to sleep, and she never woke up until 3:15, kind of fussing a little bit. So I pumped and Carlo fed her, and she slept until right now. I came in to wake her up, and she was already kind of awake. So it's 7 o'clock. So this is the best night yet. She pretty much slept the entire night. I mean, I just heard her, at 3:15, and I came in and gave her Binky, and then I decided, I probably should feed her, because if I don't, she'll probably end up being hungry before she needs to eat at 7. So, but I am cutting the feedings back at 10 o'clock, and then at between 2 and 3, she normally gets fed. So, the past 2 nights we've been doing 3 ounces. So I think tonight we'll do 2 ounces and see how she does. But yeah, you did so good. You're such a big girl, huh? You ready to eat? He's like, get me out of here. All right, so that is our update. We did so good last night. Good morning. It's Monday morning, and it's officially been a week since we transitioned Oaklynne into her crib. I didn't update you on, I think it was Friday night and Saturday night. She did really good. So we started last Sunday, and the first 2 nights she had to cry herself to sleep. The first night was a half an hour, and the second night was 15 minutes. And then after that, as soon as we lay her down, she goes to sleep. She usually wakes up, she's not even waking up. It's just, she's crying in her sleep, usually twice through the night. It seems to be the first time around like 12:30. So she'll sleep from about 7:30 to 12:30, and then cry a little bit. We just go in, give her Binky, and she goes right back to sleep. And then again, usually between like 4 and 6. But we get up around 5:30, so we're usually awake when she's up the second time. We just give her Binky, same thing. She goes back to sleep, and then I wake her up at 7 to feed her and get her ready for daycare. So it has gone really well. She falls right asleep. She does sleep on her stomach, so I think that that has a lot to do with it. She figured out she rolls onto her stomach. That's how she likes to sleep. And we don't flip her back over. We just let her go. She's been fine. The first few nights we went in, we kept checking on her just to make sure that she was breathing, because that like scares me a little bit. But she does sleep with like her face to the side and with her Binky. She's fine. But she made it a week and she's done so well, and it's so nice because we're getting restful sleep now, and so is she. And it's just really nice to be able to have her in her own space. Obviously, I miss her because she slept in the Docatot in our bed with us for 5 months. And so I do miss like waking up and seeing her there. Sometimes I would like roll over and like cuddle onto the Docatot with her. But it is nice to, you know, have our bed back and our space. And I really like to watch TV to like fall asleep at night. And obviously we haven't been able to do that for 5 months. So it's nice to be able to turn the TV on at night, or just play on our phone, because like the light of our phone sometimes would wake her up. So yeah, so it went really well, and hopefully you liked this week of crib training, sleep training, whatever you want to call it. If you have any questions, you can leave them down below, but it was a very simple process. I thought it was going to be a lot harder than what it was. Honestly, I thought she would be crying for hours, like every single night, but she did so well. So if you have any questions, like I said, leave them down below. And we are about to head to my parents' house. So I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.